And thank you, StreamYard, for being late on your music. We're trying to impress people here. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes. Next to me is Sin's Corner. And welcome to the Mystery Movie Night at the Regal broadcast. Already in the chat, my favorite stalkerazzi, Lady V Elements.
Hey, Lady V.
Is this going to be the topless stream? No. All right. Friend of the channel, JPRPH1. The View with Drew. Enigma Severus. Jesse Guajardo. And Shadow of the Raven. Sin and I saw a movie.
We did.
We will now talk about it.
We will.
Okay. Here we go. All right. How are you tonight, Sin?
I'm fine. It's cold here.
Yes.
I'm a little, my little doggy, she has to go in tomorrow for dental operation, so I'm a little concerned about that, but I'm hoping everything will be okay, and she's sitting here with me, so yeah. I was surprised at the movie that they had tonight. I didn't expect it. Did you?
Did I expect it? Somewhat.
I know people had speculated, but I felt like it was a little too close.
So did I. That's why I disqualified it, but I couldn't think of what were they going to put into place. This was the movie I thought they were going to do the last time.
Oh, the last time.
When we got Land of Bad. Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. We'd never even heard of Land of Bad until it played 2 weeks ago. So I don't necessarily try to guess anymore. I see people guessing, and I saw people guessing this one, but then other people are like, no, it's too close. And I kind of thought that as well. And then I was thinking, well, what if it's something we've never heard of again? You know, but as soon as it started, I knew what it was. Yeah, that wasn't expecting that. Oh, nice, Drew.
That is excellent news. Everybody who's in the chat who is not yet subbed to The View with Drew,
sub to
please.
Drew. Get him over 800.
Sub to Drew. Let's get him over 800. Yeah. All right. Should we just go ahead and tell the folks what tonight's movie was?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and pull the Band-Aid off.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's Mystery Movie Night at the Regal was Lisa Frankenstein. Yeah. Starring Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse as a mute, and written by Diablo Cody and directed by Zelda Williams.
Okay.
And
I didn't know who directed or wrote it. I had seen the trailer for it, and one of the managers at the theater that my son used to work at, he was really excited for this movie. And he was like, we need to watch this movie. And I was like, I don't know. But I will have to say that I was pleasantly surprised that this was the movie that came up. So, and we have both determined that I probably liked it more than you did.
Yeah. All right. Jesse is asking, was it a comedy?
Yes. It was.
Yes.
It was a black comedy. And you know what it reminded me of quite a bit, even though it was different, but it reminded me of Heathers.
Yes.
That was kind of the vibe I was getting. It was very 80s. It took place in the 80s. Some stuff was quite over the top. Some stuff was pretty comedic. Some stuff was kind of dark. Some stuff was touching. It was a little maybe goofier and sillier than Heathers, but I just had that same vibe.
Yes, that is my cat, by the way, folks.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah.
I was wondering if someone was wailing outside. What's going on?
Oh, let me let her out. She doesn't stay in too often. Okay. We are moving about the room, folks. Just give me a moment. Okay, there she goes. All right. Okay, FYI, folks, I am attempting to domesticate a feral cat.
Oh.
And she's only just now becoming accustomed to coming in and out of the house, which is something she would never do before.
Okay.
But, anywho,
it's funny. It's funny. How much does it cost to lease a Frankenstein anyway? Well, at least an acid trip, at least one acid trip, and a thunderstorm.
Was it as good as Dracula Dead and Loving It and Young Frankenstein?
I haven't seen either of those. So
I would have to say better than Dracula Dead and Loving It, but nowhere near Young Frankenstein. Young Frankenstein is a classic and deserves to be. Death Becomes Her vibe.
Gosh, I don't remember much about that movie.
A little bit.
I guess we should let them know the premise. Like, if they haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah.
My mystery movie buddy, she'd never seen the trailer, had never heard of it. So she had no clue what we were in for. Heathers was a good one. Yeah, Christian was really good in there. For sure. It's be like to drop dead Fred. Gosh, I saw that and I don't remember much about it either. It maybe.
Well, the difference was in Drop Dead Fred, the character's in her head. He's an imaginary friend who comes back to her in her adult years.
All right. Yeah, very vague memories of seeing that, and I've only seen it once. This guy is not in her head. He's real. So basically what happens is, if you haven't seen the trailer, there's this girl, her name's Lisa. She's an outcast. Her mother has died a very awful death, and her father has remarried to the wicked stepmother. And she has a stepsister who, surprisingly, I thought was I actually liked the stepsister, and I liked the interactions between the two. And I was very pleasantly surprised that they didn't make her the stereotypical nasty stepsister, because she was not.
No,
she was. That really threw me a little bit, in a good way. I mean, they could have gone the typical route. I mean, they obviously did with the stepmother, but they didn't with the stepsister. And I thought that was different. Anyway, she likes this graveyard. There's a specific grave that she likes most of all. And one night, she's at this party, and she drinks a laced drink, and she has this little acid trip. And at the same time, this storm is brewing, and she goes to she ends up finding her way into the graveyard, and she makes like this wish as the storm is happening or something. She wishes she could be with him. And then the storm happens, and then he gets resurrected. So he has these things with his body that need to be fixed. And so hence the name Lisa Frankenstein. As you can imagine, things get dark. as body parts are replaced. But
Yes.
some of it's a bit comedic too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like what? And
It's it's kind of like a PG-13, and it's surprisingly PG-13 for some of what's in it.
yeah.
It really pushes that PG-13
And
boundary.
there was a 13-year-old there. We were talking to one of the ladies, and she says, "I was wondering if I should bring my son. He's 13." I was like, "Yeah, that is pushing it because some of the subject matter. Well, I guess if you have no clue,
Mhm.
you know, if you're just kind of naive and have no idea, if you're a very young child, you probably wouldn't get some of the stuff that's being referenced, like the massager."
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
The back massager
Yeah.
that is usually used to massage something else. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Anyway, there were some pretty funny moments to me,
yeah,
and
it is.
it was goofy, but at the same time, it had this edge about the character that I really liked. And Catherine Newton, she's the girl who replaced the original actress who played in the Ant-Man movies, and I did not like her performance in the latest
Mhm.
Ant-Man movie, but I really liked her performance in here. I thought she was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, she's good here. Enigma Severus says, I was underage
Oh
and got taken to Eyes
my
Wide Shut by my
goodness
grandmother.
gracious.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, in general,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It obviously wasn't the bestest ever. It's not as
No.
good as Heather's. It just has a very similar
Mm-mm.
tone to me. Some of the stuff that they did in here was kind of tropey, you know, like the girl who has the new wardrobe and does her hair new and everybody notices her all, you know, that's they did that sort of thing.
Mhm.
But I thought she pulled it off pretty well, and it was goofy. Obviously, you have to suspend quite a bit of disbelief, but and sometimes that works for me, y'all, and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like this was a movie that wasn't taking itself super seriously, and that's why I could go with it. And others, not so much. So, you know, like Argyle. Argyle had this really, like, I couldn't buy the Argyle thing because it felt like, even though it was comedic, it was taking itself a bit seriously. And then they get to really goofy stuff, like super goofy.
Mhm.
And so that didn't work. But in here, it wasn't too bad. It's weird, the differences.
And yes, and hello to Jedi Bill and Lady Mist. Um, yeah, I was reminded very much of Heather's throughout.
Mm.
Um, again, not as good. Heather's is one of my favorite movies. It can't be beat. Um, and
Heather's
it's like
also wasn't supernatural. You know,
no.
this was.
Mm-hmm.
So
So yeah, it's also in a way because of how they go about replacing the body parts for him.
what did you think about that?
It's kind of like what did I think of that? Okay, it's kind of like a PG-13 take on like American Mary or May or something like that. And while those movies are very dark,
Mm.
This
A
isn't.
lighthearted
It's very weird.
version
To
of.
me, it was very weird tonally.
Yeah, it was an odd mixture of comedy and dark
Yeah.
stuff, but it
Mhm.
felt like it was more comedic. There was there was dark stuff that happened in it, but
Mhm.
it like it wasn't super shocking to me because for some reason, to me the difference in the tones, for me, I felt like it was balanced pretty well because I slid more into the comedy aspect of it and didn't take it super seriously, even though there
Mhm.
was a lot of serious dark stuff happening. If
Mhm.
that makes any sense, I don't. It's hard to
Mhm.
explain
Which
which
parts?
part.
Okay. Well, I'll put it this way without giving too much of the movie away. The parts that are taken and the people that they are taken from, it makes sense in the context of the movie. Like for example, there is a character from which an ear is removed. And the reason why it works for that character is because that character is not listening
Yes.
to the people around her. So it metaphorically, you're not listening, therefore you lose the ear. You know, one character gets kind of handsy with our would-be heroine while she's in the middle of this acid trip. He loses his hand later.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. So it makes sense for the characters who begin losing body parts. Metaphorically, it does all make sense. Which I give it credit for that. I love the retro-looking movie poster. Oh, great!
Well,
I was trying to decide which one to use.
It does take place in the 80s.
Yeah.
89 specifically.
And Heather's was 89.
Okay.
So,
all right. Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I guess so. The lady that was sitting beside me, she noticed that there were some people that left, because I guess this is obviously not going to be for everybody.
No.
It's just not. So it's not necessarily that it's bad, that's a reflection of why people left. But I mean, well, sometimes it is. There were a lot of people that left. What was that one? It's a Wonderful Knife. Yeah. I feel like half the audience left. Yeah, that because
this is Citizen Kane compared to It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, right. But then some people see it and they're like, no, I'm not gonna like this. This is not my type. So they just left. Yeah, exactly. Poetic Justice was pretty much highly missed. Grotesque humor usually balances out for me. Yeah. For me, it actually worked okay. And that can be a little hard to happen with me. But for whatever reason, this one worked better for me than it did for Deleted. Now, if I rewatch it, I might rate it down. I currently have it rated at 3.5 out of 5. I don't think I would go below a 3 because I did like some of the... I liked some of the messaging in here and the touching moments between the two sisters. Obviously, the father of the main character, he was so clueless, totally clueless, and such a wimp,
Yeah.
But I did feel like that the sisters had a decent enough relationship. Hi, Joe. How you doing?
And hello to Roblox Vids too. Good to see you.
That's Joe.
I think this is my first time seeing you in one of my chats anyway.
I think so.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, comedy in the goofball sense normally makes me walk away. Got to have a twist of darkness or adult theme to make it truly hook. You might like this one then.
Yep.
Because this definitely does that.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't like Dumb and Dumber because to me that's too goofy and dumb. This has goofy elements, yes, and obviously a fantastical, ridiculous premise, but it worked because of the edginess to some of the, or the character especially, and what she was going through. And yeah, curious to hear what people think if they do end up watching this. I don't remember. Is it coming out next week or the week after?
I thought it was going to be next week.
That's what I thought too. That's why
That's why I wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
Now notice there's no Rotten Tomatoes score yet. So, which is strange. Makes me wonder if there's some sort of review embargo. Let me see. I'm going to check my Regal app and see what it says the date is. Yeah, actually, it's coming out on the 9th.
Yeah.
This week.
That's what I got. Release date this week.
Week.
Yeah. That's weird.
I don't think I've ever seen a Regal Mystery Movie that's that close to release date.
Mhm.
Now, some people would say, okay, so we saw Origin, and technically Origin had already been released
True.
last year at festivals or whatever. But I'm
Hmm.
meaning like when it's actually supposed to be nationwide.
Right.
So this is really, really close. Wow. So this makes me wonder if they just don't want reviews to get out until as close to actual release as possible.
Yeah, that's got me a little
Interesting.
bit worried too. Yeah. Because I gotta tell you, honestly, while I did have some issues with it, I didn't think it was as funny as it could have been. And I thought it was maybe a little too close to Heather's for its own good.
Hmm.
It's it's not like a bad movie. I could see people digging it, and I can tell when people walked out of my screening that they were kind of mixed on it.
There was quite a bit of
You know,
laughter in my theater. So the
there
people that stuck
was,
around,
yeah.
it worked for them. It seemed to anyway.
Mhm.
So I guess it's just kind of, it might just be like an acquired, not acquired taste, but it's just going to work for certain people. It just will not work for
Mhm.
everybody.
All right.
I enjoyed it.
But yeah, this is directed by Zelda Williams. Zelda Williams is the daughter of Robin Williams.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes,
that. Interesting. Okay.
and
I thought
for
I'd heard that she was directing something, but I didn't put the pieces
mhm,
together. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, I see where what's the word I'm looking for? I always do this on every show.
Don't you
Um,
hate it?
I see where the influences were. I mean, it's definitely Heather's.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely Death Becomes Her. It's like I said, it's kind of a weird movie tonally to me because it's like it's a PG-13 movie that wants to be an R-rated movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of wish that they should have just gone
I wonder
full
though.
R-rated with it.
I
I don't
wonder
know. Maybe it's
if
just me.
they had gone full R. I wonder if that would affect, like, maybe some people, maybe I don't know, maybe some people would feel like it's a bit much. I
Hmm.
personally am glad they did censor certain things, that certain things weren't shown, because
Well, there's
that,
one particular bit where I was
well,
like,
yeah, that obviously,
ah,
yeah, but
really?
well, other stuff too,
Yeah.
because it feels like this was obviously rated R things can be
Hmm.
comedies, but to me, showing a lot of showing the actual explicit nature of what was going on with the body parts would have I don't feel like that would have fit as well if they had gone full R with it. I don't know. Maybe I'd change my mind if I rewatched it. Let's say rate it by a ranking by body part meter.
Instead of tomato meter. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird movies where I don't know if I liked it enough to recommend it,
Mm,
but at the same time, I
no.
didn't hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see why you would
You
feel that
know,
way. Yeah.
I get, you know, I'm also taking into account that I am getting older and there are movies that are just skewed to a younger demographic.
Right.
Now, this is a movie that takes place in the 80s, has 80s references movies that I really like Heather's. Has a great 80s soundtrack.
Mhm.
Dude, the song
Yeah, yeah.
selection in
Mhm.
this is pretty damn good,
Yeah.
you know. Um, And and the interesting thing about it is it doesn't go over the top screaming, hey, this is the 80s, this is the 80s. It's like, oh, you just get it
Yeah.
by, okay, there are no cell
Wardrobe,
phones,
hair,
wardrobe,
right? No
hair,
cell phones. Yeah.
um, the whole, the stepmother basically doing the
Oh,
whole Olivia Newton-John
oh
physical
my gosh, that
jumpsuit
outfit.
thing. Carla
Lord.
Gugino, who of course, as usual, steals every scene she's in.
She was
Um,
such a turd.
yeah,
She was awful. My gosh, and
she was.
she plays awful really really good.
Hmm.
But she was also she was a bit caricaturish, cartoonish a bit.
Yeah.
Like she was evil stepmother all in your face. Like it was so glaring. Which was
Hmm.
why in contrast her daughter, the stepsister was
Hmm.
surprisingly so decent, you know. I mean, she was kind of airheady and silly, but she wasn't bitchy to her stepsister. She
No.
tried to look out for her. They had these moments, and I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, that definitely stood out.
As good a soundtrack as Gross Point Blank. Well, I don't know if I would go quite that far. That was a damn good soundtrack.
Gosh, it's been a while
Um,
since I've seen that movie.
and Gross Point Blank, just a phenomenal dark comedy. I do like Gross Point Blank quite a bit. I like it still, even though John Cusack blocked me on Twitter. But
Okay.
that's neither here nor there. Um, and and Con Air. Well, I watch Con Air more for Nicolas Cage, so
Con Air's fun.
Con Air's is fun. Um, but yeah,
This was
good
fun too
soundtrack.
for
Yeah.
me. But it is different.
Hmm. Yeah.
I will say
Mhm.
I did not expect what happened at the end. I thought a very common tropey sort of thing was going to happen, and it
Mhm.
didn't. I'm not going to say publicly because I don't want to give too many spoilers away, or I don't want to give spoilers away at all, really. But um, I'm not sure if I would have liked it if it had gone. I'm not sure if I would have liked it more if it had gone in the direction that I was thinking that it should have gone. But
Mhm.
that would have been so cliche and so very formulaic type of thing that we've seen many times, but it didn't. It went in this other this other direction.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm still thinking about that one.
Well, without giving away the ending because this is a non-spoiler review. Um, the ending did remind me of another recent movie.
And if you say it, that might be too spoilery, right?
If I say it, it will be a spoiler. But it was like it was like there's I'll put it this way, folks, without giving too much away. There's something that happens in the third act, and my thinking is, okay, what is the implication of that now? There's like for a certain character, it's like, okay, where does this person go from here?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say what I really want to say because it will give away not only the ending of this movie but the ending of another movie, and I don't really want to do that right
I'm
now.
really curious now to know
Um,
what this other movie is.
yeah,
So whenever this stream is done, you need to tell me.
and I'm curious to see what you were trying to
Okay.
circle around. Um,
Yeah, I want to say it
yeah,
so bad, but I'm not.
we do. I do too, but it's like no, because I'll just completely give away the ending of this movie, and I don't want to
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
And it's just to say that it does end in a place I know I was not entirely expecting.
Yeah.
But
But
again, with the
it
caveat
seems
of
fitting for
yeah.
the type of story this was.
Hmm.
So, I mean, like the ending of Last Jedi and Escape from L.A. I never saw The Last Jedi. Yes, it
Oh,
was.
thank
I
you are
know.
so
Yeah,
lucky.
I stopped after the first. I started watching the second one, and when Mark Hamill tossed the lightsaber over his shoulder, I
Hmm.
was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I can't watch this, and I don't want to look at Daisy Ridley's face anymore in
yeah,
this role. I really grew to
yeah.
dislike her in this role. She was fine in The Marsh King's Daughter, though, which I saw
Hmm.
last year. Okay,
And
your wife was right, Keto. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and Escape from LA is just Escape from New York over again.
I don't think I've seen the L.A. one, but I did see Escape from New York at least twice, but it's been quite a
Mm.
bit.
The mystery movie was the Frankenstein movie.
Yeah,
My wife thought that might
yeah.
be it. Yeah. Yep. She guessed correctly. All right.
Yeah, you can take them out now if you want.
I hear the little puppy doggies skittering
Yeah,
away.
they're getting ready
Our
to go to
our
the bathroom and
respective
be put to bed. Sorry.
our respective animals
Right.
made an appearance tonight. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Again, I want to say how impressed I was with Catherine Newton's performance
Yeah.
because
She.
the contrast between how I felt about her in Ant-Man
Mhm.
and how I felt about her in this one totally different.
You mean the girl
Oh
that
yeah.
The girl the girl who played the daughter in this latest Ant-Man,
you liked her in this one?
I really liked her
Yeah.
performance in here. Yeah, she was so I at least I wasn't because sometimes an actor's role or an actor's performance can be so off-putting that I start to just not like any of their stuff. But that was
Mhm.
not the case with her. And I would advise if you're a fan of hers, I would advise watching it just for her performance alone.
Well, we saw her in Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was
She
the
was
first
in
time I
Detective
noticed her. And
Pikachu.
then she was in that
She was also
the
in
one where they switched bodies.
yeah, Freaky.
Freaky.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I noticed her as an actor. I had totally forgotten that was the same girl from Pikachu, Detective Pikachu. I would need to see this movie. I am looking forward to having some 80s. Well, you'll definitely have some memories because it's quite 80s.
Oh yeah.
And the guy who played in here as the resurrected corpse,
Mhm.
I can never tell which brother that is. So like
Mhm.
I've seen Riverdale and I know one of the brothers plays in Riverdale, but I don't know if this is that brother or if it's the other brother.
I think he is the one in Riverdale.
Is he the one in Riverdale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
They both look so much alike to me. It's really difficult.
This was
them.
this was. I'll put it this way: while I was watching the movie, I was recasting this in my head.
Yeah, you were saying that, so I'm curious. Who would you have put in the place of the people in here?
Well, because this movie does in places have like a Tim Burton-esque feel to it.
Hmm.
I did think a lot of Edward Scissorhands, Corpse Bride. I'm starting to like this movie a little bit more now that we're talking about it.
Maybe if you rewatch it, it'll grow on you.
Maybe. I was thinking Winona's going to be the lead. Have Jennifer Connelly be the stepsister.
Okay.
Johnny
younger
Depp
versions,
for
obviously
younger
younger
versions, obviously.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp for the creature, as they call him in the credits.
I
Frankenstein.
I didn't even notice that. And my friend said there was someone in the credits that's just listed as white girl.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. That's funny.
There's a lot of that.
I could see those cast members working.
Yeah, this is basically Heathers with like Johnny Depp playing like this kind of goofy Tim Burton-esque Frankenstein creature in the middle of it. So
Yeah, the physical acting that he did, it was almost painful to watch because he was so contorted and
Hmm.
stuff in the beginning. It's like, oh my gosh,
Because it was like,
some nasty stuff too.
yeah, that's what I was hoping. God, I hope they didn't do too many takes of that.
Right, because it honestly, the way he had
Yeah,
to
that
hold
had to
himself
hurt.
and the walking and the way he had to do his hands is, oh my
Hmm.
gosh. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was sore for
it's
him.
it is a very good physical comedy performance.
Yeah, it
You know,
was. Yeah.
yeah, Sweeney Todd-esque.
I never
Yeah,
saw Sweeney Todd.
there are elements of that. Yeah, because
Well,
I know, I think yeah.
Lady
Um,
V, this wasn't the Frankenstein character that, like, he's not this big,
no,
lumbering. He was a normal type of body. I mean, obviously, he first comes out of the grave and he's grotesque, but he
right.
wasn't like that. He wasn't like the Boris Karloff that you're thinking of
No,
when we
no.
think of
Um,
Frankenstein.
his name is Frankenstein for one thing. Um, because
Yeah,
we
on the
get that off of his
yeah, she was coloring
gravestone.
like
Yeah,
the yeah.
right. And and the fact that he has certain parts of himself that are missing because he's been under the ground with who knows what eating away at him.
I
You
got the
know,
sense that, like, his arm looked like that didn't look like decay with what was going on with his arm. The
yeah.
other parts I could see it, but the hand, that looked like a clean cut
Mm.
because it was a nub, and decay wouldn't be that clean. So it almost makes me want, like, I was curious to find out about his past, but we didn't know too much about it.
Because all we really get is that animated
Stuff
opening.
at the beginning, yeah.
Right.
I forgot what they were showing on those details because I was busy looking up what is the runtime of Lisa
Uh-huh.
Frankenstein. Because
Yeah,
I just
I am not 100% on exactly how he passed.
yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Um,
rewatch of that little
mhm.
animation at the beginning will tell the story. I mean, now that we've seen it, we'll be able to fit the pieces together a little bit better.
Because that's when it went, that's when it partially goes into uh, Tim Burton territory for me, because that opening did
Mm-hmm.
remind me of Corpse Bride in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, it did.
Mhm.
I haven't seen Corpse Bride, but I've seen some clips from it, and it was very reminiscent of that. So, yep. If you think this is your type of movie, I would say go see it. Check it
Yeah.
out sometime. I don't have a ton more to say because there's
No,
not much I can say
we
without giving away
without
stuff.
giving too
Yeah.
much of the plot line. Um, going back to recasting this in my head, was it just me, or did the Michael character remind you a lot of a young Brad Pitt?
Pretty boy.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily see Pitt in his face. There was someone he reminded me of, but I'm not thinking it was Brad Pitt.
Hmm.
I need to think about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's people that favor other actors, and I see them and I think, wow, they look very similar to somebody that I know, but it just escapes me. Like I can never find who that was in my brain. So I don't know. I'd need to look at him again. So
Come on, guys, just say they ended the movie with "What's this? What's this?" from The Nightmare Before Christmas. They do not.
can't say that. Sorry. Sorry,
No.
Enigma. So I've already got my ticket for the next one, which is going to be on the 19th.
Oh, cool.
I will be out of town part of March, so I might miss some in March, depending on when they'll be available. But I'll let you know.
All right. Let me head on over to the Regal app here, very quick.
Yeah. Let's see.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have any tickets yet. Yes, I know that. That's not what I'm looking
I
up.
bought mine before the movie started because they finally made them available. Like it was showing on the app, but I couldn't buy them yet, and so I was able to. So I went ahead and picked them up while we were there.
Right. I'm in my purchases. I got to go over to coming soon. Yep, Lisa Frankenstein opens in 4 days. That is odd.
That's so crazy. I think they just don't, for whatever reason, maybe. I mean, it might be completely erroneous, but I just wonder if they don't feel confident about it. And that's why they're waiting so close to the release date. Like I said, nothing on Rotten Tomatoes yet. That almost always means the reviews are going to be terrible. Not always, but almost always. And to be honest, it would surprise me if the reviews are craptastically awful, because I don't feel like this was a terrible, terrible movie.
No.
So
not at all.
I'm curious. I'm really curious.
Let me see.
I don't think enough.
I'm looking.
That doesn't have a score yet on Letterboxd, I don't think. I'm seeing some pretty... Okay, there's mine. Yeah, now I see another 3.5. And then there's a 3. So, yeah.
I would put it this way. I haven't given a star rating on it yet. And I kind of hesitate doing that during a review anyway these days, because I always kind of change my mind a half a star one way or another. So,
well, you can always go back and change it, fortunately. So you can edit your review.
I can. Oh, you have it up. Okay. Or do I have it up? Oh, I have it up. I'm sorry.
What? What? Letterboxd?
I switched the letterboxing. Let me take that off.
Yeah, you've got it up.
Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. I had that up. All right. But yeah. My final score on this is I didn't hate it. I think it's an acquired taste movie. I see what it was trying to do. It is a little scattershot. There are some surprises. The stepsister character it is not the normal character that you see in these things. You know, she's actually trying to make some entreaties to bring this, stepfather and stepsister into her family. She's
trying to make a family.
She's just a normal teenager.
Yeah.
Is it? Would you see it again if?
I probably
the person that hadn't seen it before.
I probably would.
Yeah. I would say that. I thought it was called Love and Frankenstein. No. But yeah. I think for me that this movie might need a rewatch at some point.
Let's see if maybe your perspective has shifted a bit.
But I respect it for what it was trying to do, even if to me, upon first watch, everything didn't exactly work. I don't know if Zelda Williams has directed any other movies other than this. If this is a first time effort, then it's not bad. I would like to see what she does in the future.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was more enjoyable than some of the, I thought it was tons better than It's a Wonderful Knife. I
Oh,
thought
for
it was
sure.
better
Yeah.
than Founder's Day. There were
Hmm.
elements about both of those movies that I liked okay. I mean, Founder's Day to me was better than It's a Wonderful Life. This was much better than both of those.
Mm.
So,
Mhm.
you know,
I just
I'm
think I
definitely not
just
disappointed.
yeah. There are times when I think Diablo Cody can't get out of her own way.
That's the writer.
She, yeah, and
What else has she written?
Juno and
Oh,
Jennifer's
okay.
Body.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen either one of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this is probably closer to Jennifer's Body than Juno for sure,
Mm.
but I think there are like these Diablo Cody isms, so to speak, that it's just like, oh God, stop. I get what you're doing, just don't. And that's in here, and that kind of downgraded things a bit for me.
Mm.
Um, you know, so this is a movie I'm a bit up in the air about. Um, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's not a great movie. It's not perfect by any means. Maybe a rewatch will be better. I like what it was trying to do. Um, I liked the characters more than I disliked them. Uh, there's some tropey stuff in it.
Oh yeah.
I like the soundtrack. It's not bad would be the best way I would put it.
It's not bad. Okay.
It's not bad. They're not going to win any Oscars with this,
No,
but
no.
no.
Yeah,
Like Kevin
definitely not.
Smithisms. Yeah, Kevin Smith falls back on certain tropes. Diablo Cody does the same. They're all here, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be in my top 10 at the end of the year or anything, but it's not going to be in
No.
my 10 worst by any means.
Nope.
So,
No, it'll be
no.
just one of those. I liked it.
Mm,
Wasn't 1,000% in love with it, but I enjoyed it and I didn't hate it. And I'm glad when that's the experience. I'm glad when I don't hate
yeah,
a movie
yeah,
and it doesn't piss me off, make me annoyed like other movies have.
yeah. Juno is awkward, still a good movie, just awkward things happen, a bit cringe, but realistic. Just cringy stuff in this too. Um, but it doesn't kill the movie in any way. Um, Juno's kind of a hard movie for me to watch now for obvious reasons. But
Mm. I never watched. I never was interested in that one.
I like that movie a lot. But,
Really?
I did at the time. It's not a movie I would watch now, though.
Yeah. Well, I typically avoid films with that actress in it because I'm just
Yeah.
not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan. I never really have been. So.
Mm. But anyway, um, yeah. All right. Sin, any final thoughts?
Um. Can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, I feel like we've kind of rehashed
Yeah.
our thoughts on this pretty extensively. So.
Yeah. Rainn Wilson before he was Dwight. Yeah. In Juno. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
He was in.
He
In
was.
fact, I think that might have been the
Wait.
first time I saw him in anything.
Wait. Was he the? Was he the? Like the co-star, like the male lead?
No. He was the guy in
Oh,
the
that okay.
convenience store. That was
Okay.
your ego is prego home skillet. That guy.
Okay. I think I know who played opposite.
Yeah.
In
That was
Juno.
Michael Cera.
Sarah. Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Cena, and I knew that wasn't right. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, Simon and sadly yes.
Right. Right.
Not seen Juno, so not sure what you're getting at. I just bring up Juno because it's the same screenwriter. That's all. one doesn't really connect. Like I said, this movie's closer to Jennifer's Body in tone than Juno. So, yeah.
I feel like if I did watch Juno, I would like Lisa Frankenstein more. That's my
you probably
perception.
Might. Yeah. Anyway, so what do you have coming up?
Honestly, I don't have anything in the immediate. Like, I'm still editing some stuff and I have some reviews that I'll eventually get to, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. I released a short today, which is just a really quick review of Arctic with Mads Mikkelsen in it. I've got another review that I can't put up until a review embargo lifts at the very end of February. So I'll have some stuff coming along. I just don't know what or when. And plus, I'm a little preoccupied with tomorrow, what's going to be happening with my little doggy, and just hoping that she'll be okay. So,
well, hopefully all will go well.
Yeah. So sometimes I get preoccupied with things that are happening off screen, and it affects what I do with relation to the channel. So that might be part of the reason why I haven't been super productive on movie reviews over the past week or so.
I think everyone can understand it. Shadow of the Raven, we'll be there for Twin Peaks. Yes, thank you. Twin Peaks, I do a show called Live from Sparkwood 21, which is a retrospective of the Twin Peaks television series. On the panel with me will be Last Call with Troy Pacelli, Netters Network, and Aged Boomer. And we are going to be watching episode 6 of season 2, entitled Demons, which will be the introduction of David Lynch as Gordon Cole, who is Cooper's FBI boss. Funny offbeat character, to say the least. Let's see. Love season 1, gave up upon 3. I actually haven't seen season 3 yet. So when we get to it, it's going to be a first watch for me.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, I'm going to be seeing season 3 live as we are going to be discussing it. So because the rest of the panel has seen the whole thing.
It'll be a true reaction for you.
It will be a true reaction for me. So I'm curious to see where it goes. Twin Peaks was great. It was.
Yeah, I never finished it. I watched the first season, never finished, but did find out who killed Laura Palmer. So,
indeed. And hello, Dulcimeris. Good to see you.
Thank you, Lady V.
Yes, prayers for the dog, indeed. All right. Along with Live from Sparkwood 21, I'm going to be joining Jedi Bill for Action Theater Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. And we are going to be watching The Hunt for Red October.
Good movie.
And then, of course, next Sunday, he's going to have his big Super Bowl live stream.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting that's happening.
Right. And, of course, we will have Western Cinema Presents. It just might be at an earlier time. And as of right now, I don't know what movie we're going to be doing. We're kind of mulling over that. We have a few ideas. We might do another public domain movie. There's a movie that Bill wants to do called Murder in Yellowstone City that came out, I think, last year or the year before. He's been wanting to do that for a while. We may be doing that.
Never heard of that.
So just stay tuned to my channel on my community page, and I'll let everyone know it's what. And then, of course, I'm going to have Unscripted and The Other Side of Midnight as per usual.
And at some point, some sort of stream about your 1,000
yes,
subs, right?
I did want to bring that up. Yes. Overnight, I hit over 1,000 subs. So
Exciting.
I am halfway there on monetization. I need to get my watch hours up,
Oh, yeah, that's
but
another
I'm getting
stumbling
there.
block they put in everybody's way.
Mhm.
Oh.
But I am one obstacle has been I've jumped over one hurdle. I just got to get to the other ones. All right. Dulcimerist was asking, are you talking about Super? Rainn Wilson rocked in that with the Juno person. Yeah, that was a James Gunn film, kind of a dark comedy would-be superhero film.
That
Yeah,
sounds vaguely familiar to me.
that movie gets very dark at the end of it. Yeah.
Gosh, I don't remember if I saw. I want to say I
Yeah.
thought I have seen that, but I don't remember much at all. I get that a little bit mixed up with Kick Ass, I think. So. I think because superhero and dark.
It has elements. Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Bacon was in Super. Okay.
Kevin Bacon was the villain. Yeah.
Okay.
Liv Tyler.
I almost feel like I need to watch this movie or rewatch it, and maybe I'll jog my memory as to whether I've seen it.
How many watch hours do I need?
4,000 per year.
I think, yeah, you need like, yeah.
It rolls.
And I think I'm still 500 and some odd away, I think.
Oh, so.
Yeah.
You're more than halfway through with your watch hours then. For some reason, when you said, I don't know, I made a weird mental leap. Okay, well, you're not too far off. Yeah, Lady V, he does play great asshole roles. Shut Up Crime, I'm assuming, is a reference to Super?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Rob Zombie was he?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Then I don't think
such
I have
a weird
seen this
movie.
then. Okay.
Oh, dang, you'll get that easy. I hope so. Not heard of Super. Yeah, it's when was Super? Maybe like 10 years ago, maybe 15, something like that.
It's not been eons.
It's been a while. Yeah.
But it has been a few years. Yeah, let me see. 2010. Okay, I remember images from this, so gosh, I don't think I've seen it though. Yeah, I'll put it in my watch list.
All right. And hello to Real Wade Gaming Clips. I'm just about to wrap it up. All right. So that was Lisa Frankenstein, folks. And Enigma says I always like the Mystery Men. Shadow says he's going to look it up. All right. All right, folks. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. The next episode of Mystery Movie Night at the Regal will be in 2 weeks.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
All right. I would like to thank everybody who watched the show live, everyone who will be watching on delay, everyone in Sin's chat and in mine, and also on Sin's Rumble in my Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Lisa Frankenstein. You might like it. So I'm not telling
you enough of an indication.
Yeah. I'm a little reticent, but I think a rewatch might be in order on this one. So yeah, go out and check it out for yourselves, and let us know in the comments what you think. It comes out this week, so
just
check it out. Yeah. All right. So that's the show, folks. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat here. Roblox Vids, Enigma Severus, Shadow of the Raven, Lady Mist, Lady V, Simon Smith, Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips, Bill Samarist, Jedi Bill. Let me scroll up. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. And I think that was everybody. So thank you all.
Thanks,
for
everyone.
Yes, the view with Drew.
Yeah, he was
And
very
Jesse
beginning.
Guajardo, JPRPH1. All right. From HQ, at all points, north, south, east, and west. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Because this is how we win. Hello, Connie Clary, coming in at the end. No, but thank you for thinking of me, though.